Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a very special video for you and it is going to be a tour of my tarot cards I have completed as part of the Bybun tarot deck. Now this is an ongoing project of mine, something I've been working on for literally years. I think I started working on my own tarot deck, aka the Bybun tarot deck, several years ago after doing the April Art Challenge. One of the prompts happened to be tarot, and I created a tarot card, and that is what started my rabbit hole into this ginormous project. So this is the little portfolio that I keep all of the originals in here, and I thought it might be fun to do a little bit of a tour of all of the cards that I have completed so far. Now I have a decent chunk done. When I first started the project, I literally was pulling cards out of my own collection of tarot decks, and then whatever card I pulled, that was the card that I then created. But now that I've gotten a little bit deeper into the project and I'm actually thinking ahead to when I get things printed and I get some test cards printed and whatnot, it actually made more sense for me to kind of reshift how I was making the cards, basically the order I was making them, and concentrate on the major arcana. So you'll see I have more of those cards completed because that's what I'm trying to finish first. You'll see in a moment. I have some cards done in other suits, but for the most part, it's mainly the major arcana because that is what I'm trying to get done first to hopefully get test prints of that so that I would be able to basically sell those test prints once I get them so that I'm not just wasting, you know, money getting a whole bunch of cards printed. But anywho, one other quick little note before I jump into touring the cards here is that I do have a little baby kitten in my studio. I'm currently fostering a 10-week-old little baby kitten that we found, and so she's being really chill right now and is purring in my lap, so hopefully she'll stay there. I did already try filming this video once and this little kitty cat was all over the place, so we'll see. There may or may not be a kitten scampering around. So if you hear those weird noises, that's what it is. There's a kitten in here. But okay, let's get to the good stuff. I'm gonna put this off to the side just so we can concentrate on the cards. And I'll show you what I have done, a couple things in progress, a couple things I'm kind of tooling a little bit, and basically just give you an overall update on the project. So let's jump right in. All right, I'm putting the portfolio over here on the side so that I can just kind of take cards out as I work on them. And what inspired me to do this was that I really needed to reorganize a lot of my cards as I've recently been kind of focusing back on this project again. So this is my newest edition, the High Priestess card, which, believe it or not, this is actually the second High Priestess card that I have created. The first one I'm actually kind of retooling to be the Empress card. The imagery on this is more suited for the High Priestess than my original one. So thankfully, that other one actually is more suited for the Empress, so I'm kind of reworking it, but you'll see that in just a little bit. But this is the newest one that I have completed as part of Drawloween. I figured I would use the tarot prompt as a reason to kind of get back into this project. And a big thing is that I'm really trying to concentrate on putting more time into kind of making art for myself. So this project definitely rings true for that because this is a project that I really enjoy working on and that I like spending a lot of time on. Yeah, I'm kind of just focusing on that right now while I don't have any kind of major video deadlines and the online class is done. I'm just kind of really enjoying settling back into this and trying to give it a little bit more attention because it's a very time-consuming project, as you would imagine. Yeah, I'm just trying to kind of shift more creative time to work on it. So we had the World card I just kind of showed you. That was a kind of an older one that I had created. Here's the Star. The Star is definitely one of my favorites. I just really like the little kind of like edge on it and the little like the water out of the hands. I don't know, I like the vibe of this one quite a bit. That's definitely a personal favorite. And I'm gonna take them all out here so we can kind of see them all in one big pile, which I think will be kind of fun. I haven't really done that, so that will be a good time. Here's the Sun, which I think is kind of a fun take on it. I definitely had a number of different sketches for this one originally where it was kind of more of a legitimate sun with different things kind of coming out of it, but you know, anything that I can make creepy cute, I'm going to do. So I went with kind of a skull painted in with gouache, and all of the little rays are also with gouache. Any of the line work you see in this, by the way, is painted with a detail brush and liquid ink. So any black work is literally hand painted. Very time consuming, but I think it gives it a bit of a different look versus if I was using pens. Here's the moon. This was definitely an earlier one. Another favorite of mine. Again, hiding. Anytime I can make something creepy cute, I'm going to do it. I also like the kind of subtle wallpaper background happening here. Oh, and there's a kitty cat. Yep, she's definitely going to try to make herself part of this. I can already tell you that. Next up, we're getting to... Okay, excuse me, little miss. Excuse me. Let's groom ourselves over here. Thank you. Up next, we're getting to actually, this is the first card that I made as part of the April Art Challenge a couple of years ago. So this was the one that started it all, and I got super sucked into this. Okay, this cat is just... She has to stay in here in the garage, so she's just gonna be part of this video. It is what it is. You're getting kitten content and tarot cards here. This was the card that started it all, and just I really was so pleased with the way that this had turned out, just the illustration vibe and look of it, that I just couldn't stop after that and kept making tons more. Up next we have the Devil, which is definitely another favorite of mine. Obviously the line work, I went overboard with this like crazy. All of the detail in the horns and in the hair, that's all just hand painted with a tiny little brush. But I really love you know, the kooky spooky hands I really like, and I definitely leaned into the addiction meaning of this particular card because I wanted the pills to kind of look like candy and stuff, so I thought that that was kind of fun. You'll notice that these cards are obviously much larger, the originals here, than what would be, you know, an actual tarot card size, but that is for when I actually go to scan them and make them digital versions. It will be nice and high res, and we'll hopefully be able to capture a lot of those details when I actually go to get them printed. The Death card, I think my favorite part of this is just that I had cut out all of these little negative spaces here with an X-Acto knife, which is very time consuming, and I tried to make it as though they were like the smoke or vapor kind of coming out of this little candle here. So I like that. I even like the little rains through the eyeball here. I think I still like the Devil card more than the Death card, but here's the Strength card, and what's been really great about this project is that it's really forced me to draw a lot of different types of subject matter. It's forced me into drawing men, different ages of people, different kinds of animals and creatures in different poses. It's really taken me out of, you know, my bubble of like what I like to draw over and over again in my sketchbook, or even in my art journals, which has been fun. So it's just a project that I've really immersed myself into, both just in the research of each card and really taking the time to develop the illustrations and build up the layers in the background. And there's even just little subtle details, like certain papers that I've found and saved, like even this paper here from Millie's desk, that's actually stationery from my grandmother that I've saved and that I've put into it. So each card has its own kind of little things that I've put in, and have tried to make them as special as I can. We have the Emperor here. You know, and it's a great project too that's really nudged me out of my comfort zone. These are all colors that I wouldn't really necessarily be doing. I mean, men, I don't draw men very often. It's just really cool. This is exciting. I've never seen them laid out like this. It's pretty cool to see it like this. So these are all of the major arcana cards that I have done. I have 3 that are sort of in progress, and let me show you those really quick. I do have an original Fool card, but I'm actually going to be reworking this one, so I have a new Fool card in progress. I just feel like I wasn't fully capturing the vibe and kind of meaning of this card, so I'm reworking this one. I'm not going to totally purge this one. This might be something that I peel pieces off of and put it into a new card, or I'm not sure. But this is the original Fool that I had created, definitely one that I had created early on in the project, and obviously kind of is why I'm reworking it. And I can show you the Fool now in progress is here. And so those of you who know kind of the meaning behind this card, you kind of get a better understanding. It just fits the meaning of the Fool much better than my other one did. And I don't know, I kind of wanted the illustration to be a little bit more detailed, pack a little bit more kind of imagery in, and I feel like I'm capturing it a little bit better with this one. So this is in progress. I'll rework the original one. And then I also have the Empress card. This was originally the High Priestess. This was the first one that I had created. But again, I don't think it captures quite all of the imagery that I want. So I have reworked it into being the Empress, but I'm gonna come back in because the Empress is often represented with kind of a crown of stars as well. So I think what I'm gonna do is have little stars sort of tied to these little horns and whatnot, and kind of add that imagery in to kind of capture the Empress in this one now that I have my new High Priestess card. So that is in progress. So still a few more of the major arcana cards in progress there, but definitely making some headway there. But what that leads me to now is some random sort of suit cards. So I have the Nine of Swords. These particular cards was when, again, I had started the project and I was pulling cards out of my own sort of decks and then creating them from there, because I liked the idea that the cards that I was working on were ones that kind of reflected my current state of mind or feelings, and I don't know, it just made sense to me to naturally pull a card of the week, a card of the day, and then make one from there. But again, as this project has grown, it makes way more sense for me to kind of drill down the major arcana first and then get into the nitty-gritty suit cards, especially since I'm usually working on several cards at once. I'm never just doing one. I usually have about 4 in progress or so. Like I also have the Magician lined up. I have a lot of other ones, kind of already sketches happening and things moving on them. This is a definite favorite of mine, Three of Pentacles. This took me forever to do, you guys. The details in this, obviously, I love some crazy detailed hair. Anytime I can kind of tuck pieces into things, you can see there's little pieces of wood in her hair, the bird houses and the little birds, and all of this is done with a detail brush and liquid ink. So this was very, very time consuming, but I think the payoff is definitely there. It's one of my absolute favorites. I just love that one. Okay, we're getting to our last 2 here. I have the Page of Wands. This was definitely early on when I had started the project, but still a favorite of mine, and I'm definitely starting to lean into this technique or secret a little bit, and that just kind of splicing people up, which I like to do already in my illustrations. I'm able to kind of shove more imagery into one card space, which is really nice. So especially something like this, where if it's someone who needs to be holding a staff or an object or something like that, I can really kind of fake it and make it happen just by chopping people up, so it kind of works out. So that's the Page of Wands. And then the last one here, which was just in the back of my little portfolio thing, is the Four of Wands. Again, really fun, just drawing other faces, genders, and ages that I don't normally do, you know, in my sketchbook or my art journal. All right, so there we have it. All of the cards filling up the screen now. It's so wild seeing it like this. I haven't really taken them out of kind of their storage and looked at them like this. It's pretty crazy. I thought it would just be fun to kind of share with you what I have completed and just kind of an update on the project in general. I think even this is good for just myself to keep that motivation to keep working on them, because obviously I have a very long ways to go, but I think it's worth it. It's just such a personal kind of passion project of mine that anytime I am putting you know, work into it, I really am enjoying it. So thank you for letting me share it with you today. You can see other kind of photos and in progress photos of the bybuntarot project if you look at the hashtag bybuntarot on Instagram. I have a lot there. I also have a highlighted story on Instagram as well, and you can kind of snoop more in progress pictures there as well. I do hope, and I'll just answer this question now because I know it's coming, I do hope in the future to get a deck made, absolutely. But I am a very long ways away from that happening. If anything was to be printed first, it would be the major arcana cards. So that would be what that is my first goal, is get the major arcana done so that I can hopefully get samples of just that printed first. So we shall see, but I'm turning my focus to this project for the rest of the year and see if I can kind of make a dent in it. We'll see, but I'm proud of the work I've done so far, and I'm glad that I was able to share it with you today. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it. For more creative content, you can join me over on Patreon, and I actually have a sketchbook that is dedicated just to this project that only my patrons have seen. So that video is over there if you join my Patreon. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!